lifting out is much better than painting around it. So if you can, here, for example, I can have much more control over my light if I lift it out than if I paint, because I tried painting around it there, as you can see, and I've painted over certain things. But just going back and just gently lifting a little bit out.
Yeah, it works well, doesn't it?
It really works well. So again, it's just what this is Sable. I'm convinced that Sable does this better than anything else. But it allows you just to tidy things up a little bit. So the brush will take it. I remember to, as you scrub the paint off, for want of a better word, you're filling your brush up with paint. So it's important to keep rinsing. You can only take a little bit out, and then you need to go back. Glad you mentioned that, John. It gave me a chance to do a couple of other things that actually work quite well. Yeah, lifting out is different to taking your painting and putting it in the sink. Lifting out and washing out are two different things. So lifting out is a perfectly legitimate technique to get soft light and very soft, controllable light on something. And it means you can paint the area very simply, done. Whereas if I painted, I know I did paint around those, but didn't do very well. Whereas if I paint around all these things, it becomes much more laborious. So the lifting out really works well. I mean, here, for example, even though I was saying about you could use masking fluid for little bits of grass, but you really don't need to. If I go back in here, you'll be able to see, I just squeeze my brush so that it's almost like a well, I'm going to say like a needle, but it's flat sort of wedge. And I can just lift out the thinnest, lightest little areas. And this is why I much prefer, or why I really don't like masking fluid, because I feel masking fluid, for a start, you have to decide where you're putting your masking fluid more or less at the beginning of the painting. Now, I haven't even a clue where the mill will end up at the very beginning of my painting, let alone where the blades of grass are going to be. So to me, it makes much more sense doing this little simple bit of lifting. Now, what I'm doing, I'm saying I'm scrubbing, but I'm scrubbing ever so lightly. The brush is just touching the surface. And you can lift out just a little bit, you can lift out more, so you can get all sorts of effects. And then, of course, you can then match that up with the sort of opposite. So you get some green or some burnt sienna, and you can do the same thing. Maybe a wee bit more of that, actually, just to get a bit of variety in there. And I think that's pretty much done. Unless there's something I've left out that I didn't mean to leave out, I don't think so. But it does happen.
Now, what about some birds?
Yeah,
you don't have. I mean, yeah, you know, you don't have to. I just
the birds
adds a bit of life, doesn't it, or something?
Your wish is my command, John.
Oh no, I don't want to be held accountable.
The thing about birds is keep it subtle.
Yeah.
Birds are not like McDonald's signs. I've never seen a bird that looks like a McDonald's sign.